talk about it. We'll revisit.
We'll revisit right now because we're live.
Okay.
All right. How's it going?
Dekel, welcome back. You're our second recurring guest, right?
Yes.
How many times have we had Irina on? Just one?
Just one.
We've had Zane on twice. He's our first recurring guest.
And now
Dekel. Okay.
All right. Thanks for having me back, guys.
Dekel, one time you're going to get out of Zane's shadow.
Hopefully one day.
We'll get you on as the first three-peater.
Yes, let's go.
Okay.
Dekel flew back from Mexico just to make this podcast.
Yeah.
Right. I came in early. No, kidding. But,
what were you doing in Mexico?
Just got back from Mexico. We had 2 Pickleball Getaways trips back to back in the Mayan Riviera. So that was a lot of fun.
Pickleball Getaways.
Yeah, we had a... What's that?
Tell us more about these getaways.
Tell us more.
Oh, okay. Basically, me and Ben, we have our Pickleball Getaways company. We do trips overseas. We have trips to Mexico, Costa Rica. We have in the summer to Croatia and Portugal. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We always bring a good group of pros. For example, now in Mexico, we had Andrea Coop with us, Cassandra Gerke, Colin Johns for both week. We had Hannah Johns also helping with a lot of things during the trip, kind of like a trip coordinator. We had a few other very fun pros, so it's always a good time.
And how do you go about booking this? Like, let's say, okay, I heard about this on the podcast. I want to do it. Where are we going to find all this stuff?
So yeah, you go to pickleballgetaways.com and we have all our trips listed there. You can also always talk to me or Ben directly. But yeah, Pickleball Getaways. Yeah, Ben Johns. Okay. Always best to go on the website, see all the information. It's all there. See what our upcoming trips are. Sign up for our email list to see all the new trips that we do. Yeah, that's probably the best spot.
And then how does it work? So I get on Pickleball Getaways. Is there a one-time all-inclusive fee? Am I still covering my airfare? Am I covering my room and board? Like, what's included? How easy is it to get involved?
For example, our Mexico trip, once you get there, it's all-inclusive. The shuttle, the hotel, it's an all-inclusive resort. Awesome. All the pickleball, everything is included. So basically airfare you need to pay, but everything else is included. Our Europe trip are not all inclusive, but most of the things are included. You might have to pay for a few meals, but everything else is including all the tours, the hotels, the pickleball, everything, all that is included. So it depends on the trip, but most things are included. So you don't need to worry about much, which is the fun thing. Just come, have fun, travel, play pickleball. So we try to make it easy for everybody. Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of pickleball, watch this segue. You know the sport?
Yeah, of pickleball.
Yeah.
Heard about it.
Yeah, that we talk about every week. Yeah. Go on.
That was smooth. A lot's happened since we last had you on, Dekel.
Yeah, a lot has happened for sure.
I think last time you were on, that would have been the weekend of the Palm Springs PPA, like the year end, right? That would have been the Masters, I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
Not long ago, but in podcast years, it feels like forever ago.
Yeah, and then pickleball time is a long time.
Yeah, every week in pickleball is 10 years of regular life.
Yeah, makes it interesting for you guys. Lots to talk about.
Yeah, for now,
that's true. Makes us justify having a pickleball podcast, which is kind of a weird thing. But
is it weird though? I feel like there's a lot of podcasts out there.
Well, here's what I'll say. I'll say that if you told me 2 years ago that I would be doing a pickleball podcast with an Israeli pickleball pro and a guy who won Survivor, I would wonder what the hell you're talking about.
See, if you told me 2 years ago that I would have be on a podcast about pickleball with an Israeli pro pickleball player and some kid that quit his day job, I would say, yeah, that sounds probably accurate. I'm good at podcasting.
Yeah. And you do a lot of like random stuff in your life.
I do a lot of random stuff. That keeps it interesting for me.
Yeah. But Dekel, last time you were on the PicklePod, you were talking about how I think everybody started like, there's just a lot of speculation of like who was going to sign with what tour or like who's going to sign the contracts and stuff. And I mean, we hadn't even had all the developments that we've had lately, but you were saying that you weren't going to commit to any one tour. You were kind of one of the ones who was like, I'm going to do both. I'm going to do the APP and the PPA. And I'm not gonna draw a line in the sand. And it seems like you're still doing that. I'm curious, with all the developments, has your philosophy changed at all, or like how are you looking at it?
Yeah, how do you feel about your decision currently? Are you like, I made the right decision, everybody else is a fool? What's going on?
I think it depends. Each person have their own their own route and things that are good for them or not. For me, I'm happy with where I am. I am going to play. I have more APP scheduled, tournaments scheduled, but I still have some PPAs and going to play the MLPs. That's something that is very important to me. So that kind of flexibility to play anything I want is great for me. Like we also with our getaways and traveling a lot, it makes more sense for me to have the flexibility and play the dates that I want to play on, being away for a long time, and also want to visit home, Israel, for a little bit. So before starting all these tournaments, I have probably over 2 months of travel just before the tournament. So being able to pick and choose what I want to play makes sense for me. And yeah, I would guess since we last talked, I probably had a couple of tournaments only shift towards basically maybe removed a couple of PPAs towards APP, but I don't think it changed that much in terms of what I had.
Oh, breaking news. Breaking news.
Breaking. A couple of tournaments.
A couple of tournaments changed. I have a question on that.
Yes.
I talked to Zane a little bit about this because he's kind of doing the same thing you are. He likes his flexibility. He hasn't signed with anybody. And I think my mind always goes to like, what's going to get max publicity, what's going to do this and that. And I maintain that if you avoided all the PPA players that can only play PPA events and then claim yourself the best player in the world and challenge the PPA players to come to anywhere you are to challenge you at any given time, knowing that they can't due to their contract, is that a play or no? Like you're just like, I'm number one. They're afraid to come into my house, the APP. They won't come to Major League Pickleball. Who's the best? I am. They're afraid to face me.
I'll have you pitch that for me. So
okay. I should start saying that then. I'll be like, Dekel's
that
number one. We all know he's number one.
Who's Ben?
Yeah.
I mean,
what is Ben?
Did you play APPs?
What is Ben?
What is Ben?
Yeah.
So
exactly.
I like that play. I think that's what I would do. Like leverage that, like where they're contractually obligated to avoid those. You like have the upper hand in a sense of war of words, so to speak.
No, I think both tours have good players. Obviously, I'll still play, in both. I want to, play some PPAs. I want to play against Ben and Colin. I want to play against Matt and Riley. I played against all of them a lot last year. I did sign with PPA last year, so definitely had my fair share of matches with them. So I feel, don't feel like it's anything different.
And then one more question.
I'm the bigger and better, you're saying?
What's I did not say that. I did not say otherwise, but leave that to...
You can pass on
that for you guys.
You can pass on this, but along those lines, bigger and better. From a business perspective, are you more focused on playing professional pickleball or on pickleball getaways? Like, what does the future hold for you? 5 years down the road, are you vying for the number one spot in pro pickleball still? Do you have every single week booked out across the world to do these pickleball getaways? What are we seeing?
What do you expect him to say here? He has to say like the number
getaways. Pickleball getaways is something very important for me, but also playing. Basically, I will do trips when I can around the tournament schedule. So the tournament schedule. That's the
answer I was looking for.
Tournament
Something
schedule
like that.
goes first, and then around that we build our getaways. So it's me and Ben. We look at our schedule. What can we fit and where, and we go according to that. So we know there's a number of years that we can compete at the top. It's not forever, but still on top of that, we do what we can, and we do want to do other things. So we try to collaborate both as best as possible.
Yeah, I mean, if you stay healthy, honestly, you probably only have 30 to 50 more years of pickleball in you before you have to figure out something.
It's a limited time.
Yeah.
Back to the APP stuff though, Dekel. You did just join the APP Pro Council. Now, I have no idea what the heck that actually means. Can you talk a little bit about that? Like,
is that like a political thing? Like people voted, or how did that work?
No. So I was asked to be on the Pro Council, and I agreed. I think it was the same for the other people. The APP, I think they asked a bunch of players from different regions or different ages to be on it. And then I think from now it's kind of up to us, the players, to maybe structure it the way we want, or maybe like decide it's stuff. Basically now it's in the players' hands. I think honestly we didn't have that many meetings yet. I think we had like one of all of us together. So it's still very new, and we'll figure it out as we go. But it's great that we have a collective voice, and that we can go to the APP and say we think this should happen this way or that way, or if anybody has any concerns, it's a good place to go to, and just better that way instead of individuals going to APP as a group, that we discuss things together and then go. And I think honestly that I'm sure I heard the PPA is doing something similar, and that I think in general we should have, we were trying for a long time, but all the players to have a collective voice, not just APP and PPA. Maybe once both tours have their own councils formed, maybe we can use those two councils to talk together and create a full, like, all players
super council.
Right, a super council. I like that name.
Yeah.
So we can create the super council and and really talk everybody together. For the good of pickleball, good of all pros in pickleball, and try to see what we can do.
What happened to that players union?
This is the players union, essentially, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was.
But there was a super council, is basically.
There already was a super council.
There's a new name now.
Disbanded.
So yeah, obviously with the two tours, a lot of things are changing, and a lot of different opinions, and a lot of like hard to form something for all the players to agree on. And I don't feel like we had like a force behind that, that was trying to. Everybody's busy, right? Everybody has a lot going on. I feel like you need a few players to really drive it, and it was very difficult because of different opinions to get together. And there's just so much going on, so many new things going on. So it's just, I feel like it was just difficult to form it, and the players weren't able to do it yet. But I feel like there are strides. It's going very, very slow, but it is moving forward, and hopefully it's one day we'll be able to have the super council. So
a quick question on the super council, or the current council in its form. Players unions are important in all professional sports, because they're looking out for the well-being of the athletes versus just the money-making mechanism. But we see these representatives in these sports at certain times having to make very hard decisions based on what's better for them personally versus what's better for the players. Do you foresee yourself being put in a situation like that? Have you already been put in a situation like that? Does that worry you, or are you already prepared to go to bat for these players, even if it means you losing hundreds of millions of dollars?
Hundreds of millions.
I just came up with a number.
I think we're in a good spot if we're losing hundreds of millions of dollars by some decisions here. So I might be happy at that point, regardless what happens. But no, of course, I think it matters who is on the council, and I think that's why it's at some point, like, the players should vote on who is on a council. So right now, I think it is good to start with something initially, and then have players vote on who will be there, because you want a person you can trust and you think is working for you and not for themselves. But the fact that you have we have right now 9 people on the council, so it's hard to, for one person to be that influential. So maybe that's also a good thing to have a bigger council. So I feel like we have a good group there, and that we, kind of have collective, like younger players, older players, different regions. So I do think it's a good group that can actually help the players and not be, self-served there.
Okay. Good political answer. I would definitely vote for you, Dekel.
Yeah.
Vote
I don't,
Dekel.
I don't like that. I don't like these political answers.
No, you don't like the safe answers?
Get out of here.
That's correct. Like you do have the full group, and if everybody chooses their representation, then it's kind of on them as well if their representation makes a decision that's poor for them.
I think this pro council is like a backdoor to lock players or like anchor players to the APP. It's like, here, join this council.
You think so?
It's like you, J-Dub, Zane, Lee, like all these top players that aren't signed with the PPA that are now like informally aligned with the APP.
Oh, hot take.
That's my take.
Do you feel that at all, Dekel?
I don't. I feel like I can still, I feel like I can leave the council as well. So, but I'm happy to be on it and help if I can.
That's what you think. Yeah. You send some guys to your house and, yeah, I don't know.
What did you hear, Tyson?
Nothing. I didn't hear anything. So Thomas, is that your perception? Honestly?
It's sort of like, I'm kind of just
rewarding the people who didn't sign with the PPA. Maybe
it could be, right? I'm sure.
I don't know. I want to get your take.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some thought given to that from the APP, like Ken and those guys. I'm sure there are. It's probably dual, right? It's like, this is good. This is a good thing for the players. The players should give us feedback. We should know what they're thinking, what they want, how they want the league to develop. But at the same time, it's also nice to have this relationship with them so that they show up to our tournaments.
But they also can't, like, anybody from the PPA can't be on the APP council because they're not allowed to play APP events. So who else is their pool to draw from for the Players Council?
Yeah, I don't disagree. What's your point, though?
Good point, Tyson.
I'm just saying that, like, they didn't strategically build this council based on the people who didn't sign with the PPA. That's the pool of people. That's the only pool of players that they have to draw from for this council, is the people that didn't sign with the PPA.
Well, did you look at the list?
Read the list.
It's just like all the top players that aren't signed with the PPA. So
yeah, that makes sense.
There are a few missing. There are a few missing. Adam's not there. Vivian's not there. There's a few others, of course. I think Michelle is not there. Yeah, obviously there's a bunch more that I'm missing. Andre, Eden, a lot others.
Yeah.
Listen, if you don't name the rest of the players you think are good right now, they're gonna.
I'm missing a lot. That's okay.
And also,
I'm doing it for your guys' sake.
Yeah, and you didn't say last names, so it could be any Michelle, any Adam.
Right.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Dekel's so politically correct. He just couldn't stop naming people. He's like an Eden and Andre.
That's the rest of the time here. That's fine. He's part of the council, man. You got to let him do what he's going to do, because when it gets to Super Council, we're going to be in over our heads, Thomas, and we're going to have to succumb to whatever the Super Council wants us to do.
Yeah.
No, but regardless, going back, I do think the council should be voted on, and hopefully it can be that way soon.
Yeah. My only qualm is, like, as a top 5,000 pro, I would have expected for them to
someone from down there. Yeah.
So I do feel a little bit neglected, and so you can tell the APP I'm going to go.
Okay.
Yeah, I lost a 5-0 tournament pretty badly a few months ago, so Duper has me at a 4-9. And that's way above my skill level, honestly. But still, I'm probably in the top 200 in the Southwest region.
Do you both want to be on the council? I can talk to a few people, see what we can do.
I'm definitely going to miss some meetings, but I wouldn't mind having my name on there.
All right.
It's just a resume thing.
I'll talk to the crew.
Yeah, you never know who's watching, who's like, Players Council. Okay, yeah, sign this guy up. He's perfect for what we got going on. Yeah. It's all something. See, Thomas, that's the difference between you and I. before, you were like, Tyson, you do a lot of weird shit. And I was like, it keeps it interesting. I love it. Being part of a players council, that's another thing that you passed on and I'm taking. And now my resume just looks a teeny little bit brighter than it did 5 minutes ago.
That's the difference between us. Got it.
The one difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And by the way, you don't just do weird shit. Again, I run a pickleball company now. So I think that is like sort of a...
Yeah, but I run a pickleball company too.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dekel, quick question.
Yeah.
If you could be Tyson or Thomas, who would you choose?
That's kind of what I was going to ask. I was like,
is that what you're going to ask?
Yeah. Well, who has a better pickleball company? Shoot from the hip here. Don't hesitate.
A
more exciting pickleball company.
Dude.
You are more exciting, Tyson. I feel like Thomas' company is a better bet as of now. But you might change. You might. I want to see you change that.
Okay.
I feel like you're shooting to more areas, not just pickleball.
Yeah, but I'm not spreading myself thin. I have a few areas that I dabble in, but pickleball is definitely one of my focuses.
Okay.
Sharing the sport of pickleball, being a pickleball ambassador. I'm not trying to play tournaments. I'm not trying to be pro. I'm just trying to share the good word of the sport of pickleball with those who have that black hole in their life that they don't know how to fill it. And pickleball is the answer.
That's great. That's a great pitch.
Thank you.
Dekel, did you see what I posted on Instagram? The fact that I have a whole album dedicated to you?
Yeah, I did. I shared it on my story. That's awesome.
That's not for social media either. That's just for like,
personal.
When I'm going to bed and like
you should see his bedroom ceiling, Dekel.
I just want like happy thoughts.
That's great. I'm happy. I'm happy I can help.
You are along those lines. You are one of the most highlightable players. Like if you go and look at Dekel Bar highlights, we're seeing some exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I had to stop. My Wi-Fi?
Yeah, it's definitely your Wi-Fi.
Can I go out for a second then?
Yeah, but you're back. Dekel, why do you think that is? Why are you one of the most highlightable players as far as, the cool shots, the fast movement, the athleticism? Is it just those combinations? Because some people are more exciting to watch than others. Obviously, there's different styles of play. What do you lend that to?
I would guess a lot of the jumping, the ernies, they're good highlights. People always love those. So I think that's a big thing. I guess athleticism, which again is the ernies, a lot of like fun hands battle exchanges and stuff like that. So maybe some powerful shots as well. So I guess the combination, but hey, that's for you guys to show and decide.
Okay, here we go, Dekel.
Yes.
Top 10 sports in the world.
Top 10 sports in the world.
Wait, no, I'm not. This is the question still.
Okay.
So factor in the top 10 sports in the world. You may not know exactly what they are, but you have a good idea. We take the top pickleball pros, and they have to have a contest in each of those top 10 sports.
Oof. Okay.
Who is placing in first cumulatively over those sports? We're thinking soccer. We're probably thinking, even cycling. Even if we go just to the U.S., we got basketball. We've
Football,
got
soccer, basketball,
all of that stuff. Raw athleticism. Who is the athlete?
So some of them are more raw athleticism. Some are a lot of skill too, right? Not just athleticism.
So skill is like pickleball centric.
I would like
this
to put
guy.
myself out there, but what's that?
No, I'm
so
just
I like
saying.
To put myself out there. I don't know. Probably not. On the top, but I think Riley is a good one. Very athletic. Ben is a good one. He seems to be very skillful in a lot of different sports. Colin Johns as well. Again, athletic and skilled in a lot of different sports. Who else? Maybe Matt when he was younger. Frank Anthony Davis, super athletic.
Yeah, I can see that.
Jay, very athletic and talented.
Okay, let's go on the other. Let's go on the other spectrum. Who is
the other spectrum? Right.
Pickleball master? You couldn't put them in something else, and they do it properly. Like they just like pickleball.
Only pickleball.
Only pickleball. Like they have mastered the game of pickleball. But if you gave them a basketball or you gave them a soccer ball and you watched them, you'd be like, "There's no way this guy's a pro anything."
Wow.
Or is that putting you too much on the spot?
Yes, I got to think about that one.
You can refuse to answer if you want to.
No.
Yeah, you already said you for the other one. You said you gave yourself number one position.
No, I didn't say number one. I said hopefully up there.
Dekel said number one. Yeah.
No. Let's see.
No answer.
We'll come back to it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have a question.
I will come back. I need to think about it. It's a tough one.
I want to ask you specifically because, I mean, you were talking about the fact that, like, your hands battles make you an exciting player to watch. But predominantly, I would say, like, most people are always pretty fascinated by the fact that you are going for, on average, way more ernies than any other player out there on the court. Like, what are you seeing in those moments? And then even you even have those moments where you'll go for an ernie, you'll kind of jump the kitchen, but you'll pull up short and dink it and just get back into play. You won't go for that winner. Like, what happens in those moments? What are you seeing that we aren't?
Right. So in terms of like going for it, there, certain shots from certain places in the court, I feel like I can cover with the ernie. In general, I think everybody should try it a little bit more, and they'll be surprised with how much they can get. But it's a lot of seeing a lot of trial and error as well. At first, I was making a lot of very silly mistakes. I remember like getting laughed at a lot with my poaching and with my ernies, and I still make bad judgment calls sometimes and trying to bail myself out of it.
Are we seeing?
What's that?
What kind of mistakes were you seeing? Like what like hitting it into the net or just hitting it into a perfect setup defense?
Yeah, like attacking. So Thomas was saying about the ones I dink back. So, sometimes you jump and you already, because you anticipated something and then the ball is too low, or you're hoping their shot will be higher, but it's too low. I know I can ernie it, but then once it's already there and it's below the net, you can't do much. You can angle it, you can drop it back, but the safe one is to drop it back and try to continue the point, wait for another one. So the ones I drop back, yes, I anticipated a shot that I can ernie, but if I try to attack that ernie, I will most likely lose the point. So because I need to hit the ball from under the net, from very close to the net. So my the default or just to try to get back in the point is dink it back, and then I got to get back in position. So if I try to attack or do anything different, I'll be out of position and probably lose the point. So that's why I dink those back. But yeah, I do think it's seeing basically after a lot of the more you play, the more you see the points, the more you see patterns. It's not just for the ernies, it's for everything in the game. But now we're talking about the ernies. So yeah, the more you play, the more you see patterns, the more you see where people hit shots. The more you realize what you can and can't do. So I think it's a lot of repetition, a lot of playing, a lot of trial and error with the ernie. And I think more people should do more with it. Yes, I might be taller than some players, but I'm not the tallest player. I'm tall, but it's not like I think others can do it more. At least should try.
Not very. Not very political, but you are an ernie advocate, it seems.
Yes, I am.
The one issue you'll stand behind. I like it.
Is that we should.
There are more issues I'll stand behind for sure.
Yeah. I like to ernie, but I notice with people I play with regularly, they avoid setting me up for those as best they can. Because being on the receiving end of a really good ernie,
you need to create them, Tyson. You need to create them.
I know.
Don't wait for them to set you up.
No, I try to. You hit the ball behind them on the baseline where they have to dip a little bit, and that's right. Isn't that like the goal?
On the kitchen line, you mean?
Yeah, on the kitchen. On the kitchen on the sideline there, like behind them on the outside.
Right
on
behind
the line.
them.
Yeah.
Right behind. What about the middle dinks? They're trying to find your back end. Those as well.
Okay. I have a
You're
hard
tall.
time
You
doing.
can do it.
I know I can. I've done backhand. Backhand ernies feel extra special for me because they're definitely harder for me to do. But yeah, I think this is a great time to remind everyone of the clip of the first time Thomas and I played, where I ernied him so good.
Are you gonna show it now, or?
Yeah, you could. Thomas said no. I'm gonna go back through my Instagram because I posted it and I'll share it to my stories.
Okay.
I'll tag Thomas in it just so I'll tag you in it too.
Cool.
Because that's a moment that we should definitely never forget.
Yeah, make sure you get that tag in there.
Okay.
Thomas will share it for sure.
Look at Thomas's face right now. Even still, he's going back to that moment and being like,
tag the dink. Thomas will share it.
Yeah, I know.
So another topic.
We don't. Should we talk about this for just a second longer?
Dekel.
Yes.
Tyson, just calm down over there. The gold medal match, APP Masters in January. There was an argument over a hindrance in the final. And you actually went and just like sat down in the middle of it. Can you just kind of like recap what happened there? Because for the people at home, we were all like, "What is going on?" But it looked like it was it was a huge moment.
There were actually two. One earlier in the match, one later in the match.
Wait, but I don't know what a hindrance.
So that specific one. That specific one, basically, Eden hit an ATP, and then he thought he hit a winner, so he screamed, "Come on!" in the middle of the point, and then we got the ball back, and then basically we're not allowed to stop the point in the middle, right? So they tell us whatever happens, keep playing. So that's what we did, and but obviously we thought it was hindrance, and that the point should be given to us.
Because he screamed the point was final.
Right, exactly. So while we were hitting, he was screaming as the point was over. And then basically both me and Adam were not happy with the call of the ref, who just said it wasn't hindrance. And then we're like, all right, please, get the ref, the supervisor. And we waited. I went to sit down because sometimes it takes a while it depends where the supervisor is. And also, I guess I was upset with the situation, and I just let Adam talk to the supervisor. So I was just sitting there until it's all solved. Then the supervisor, who actually saw the point, gave us, it was Byron. He actually gave us, he agreed with us, and he gave us the point, and that was it. But it took a while with, explanation to all four players, and so. They didn't argue. Eden and Andre didn't argue. Eden's like, I'm going, like the first ref said it wasn't a hindrance, so he's like, that's what the ref says, just play on. But we obviously did not agree with the call and wanted the supervisor to try and overrule that, which he did. So Eden's like, yeah, well, that's fine. If he overruled, we're good.
Well, was it Andre or Eden who screamed, "Come on"?
It was Eden.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I feel like Andre is not unfamiliar with those situations where he gets pretty
right. Yeah, so that's exactly. So that Adam was saying that exactly, like while right after we lost the point, after a few more shots, Adam pointed that out, that Andre did the exact same thing, or was called, basically he. In MLP, I forget who hit that shot, but someone screamed, "Come on," while he was, or just before he was hitting the ball. And then he got the point, even though he missed that shot, because they called hindrance. So Adam was like, Andre got the same exact thing to his favor. So basically it should be now to our favor.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And that's not a replay. That's point given to.
Right. There, it seems to be no replays in pickleball.
Okay.
Unless there's, something with the ball that
a stray ball coming on the court.
Yeah, the ball broke or whatever. But if it's something from the players or something besides the ball, I think, or hindrance of like, something like coming to the court, there's no replay. Even if all four players agree, there's no replay, which honestly, I think if all four players agree on something, there should be a replay. If all four players agree on something, the ref should go with it. Right now in the rule book, it's not there, so the refs can't can't do that, but I think it should be in the rule book that if all 4 players agree, should definitely be what the 4 players want, right? Because then we see the silly, serves in the net to kind of or returns in the net just to make things right between all players.
Sounds like a job for the Super Council.
Super Council, let's go.
I have a strategy. I don't know if I've shared this on here, Thomas, so you'll have to tell me. Guaranteed win every time for you and your partner. Hire 10 people to stand around the court with pickleballs in their pocket. If you are losing the rally, they roll a ball onto the court. You stop play, redo the point before you actually lose the rally.
That's great.
And then you just do it every time. There's 10, 15 guys rotating around, so it's hard to see where the balls are coming from all the time. And it's just like every time you're behind in a rally and you feel like you're on the edge, these guys are trained to know to roll a pickleball out on the court. You yell ball as you right before you get burned by the opponent, and then you replay. And so you just keep replaying every rally until you have advantage every time. I feel like you would win every single time with the right.
You're on to something. I think so. Might just do that in the next tournament.
Okay.
I'll make some phone calls to some friends and
Thomas, have I shared that strategy before?
Like you said.
No, that's we'll bookmark that one. We'll clip that.
Okay. Look at him. He doesn't
Thomas
like it.
Like, oh.
I'm telling you, the listeners here are going to love that strategy. They're going to love it.
Yeah. Right.
Thomas, that's me thinking outside the box. That's the difference, the one difference between you and I.
It's the one.
That is outside the box.
Yeah. Anything else, Thomas, for Dekel?
Well, yeah, Dekel, you're a duper athlete, right?
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? That video, by the way, was awesome.
Yeah, our acting skills are on point, obviously.
You think that's a new career possibility for you?
You tell me. I think
yes,
it's the furthest thing from a possibility. But no, it was a fun crew. So it was fun shooting those videos. We have there are more coming. Looking forward to seeing them. Yeah, I thought they did a good job. What do you think?
I thought so. That guy just does a good. I think whoever that videographer is, shouts to him. He does a good job. It was funny.
Mm-hmm.
It was like filmed really well.
Are you getting your duper tattoo?
We're thinking about it.
All right. Good. With the number or just the word, like Cameron did?
Once I get my rating up, I think maybe I'll go number.
Okay. So for now, just the.
I think Tyson will go number right now. He's pretty.
I should. Yeah. What's your rating again on Duper?
Mine or Dekel?
Yours, Thomas Shields.
Just over like a 5.0.
And you think you're better than that?
No, but I think I could employ some strategies. For example, hiring 10 people, having them pull the ball out constantly. I can win some matches at some crucial moments and get that number up pretty easily. So.
Okay. Yeah. Here at PicklePod, we're looking for some interns to follow Thomas around on the tournament circuit. Probably just need 10 to 15 of them. And,
I'll help you out, Thomas. If I see you play, I'll be there.
Bring Jeff Warnick too, because he wears those big baggy cargo shorts, so he'll be able to hold a bunch of balls. Yeah.
You want Jeff and you want Johnny Goldberg on your side. They'll help you out.
Yeah, they'll have a few beers and just stand there and scream on your behalf.
And roll those pickleballs out at crucial moments. Thomas, I'm excited for you to get your rating up. What if you got it all the way up past like number 1? And then you only played APPs and just claimed that you were the best in the world?
Big thanks to you and this podcast sharing that strategy.
Yeah, but now everybody's going to do it. That's like the way that pickleball will be played in the future is everyone will have a crew of 10 people rolling balls out all over the court.
Super confusing and very labor intensive.
Yeah.
No room for fans anymore.
Oh, I'm excited for the future. It's going to be really fun.
Yeah, you liked that one, Tyson, didn't you?
Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah. No, that's all we got for you, Dekel. Thanks for hopping on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You in Arizona this weekend?
I am not. Just got back from Mexico, so taking a few days to recover.
Yeah, it's hard to go on vacation for that long.
It is. No, unfortunately for me, it's very far from a vacation. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of work too.
Okay, well, you heard it here, pickleballgetaways.com for all of the getaway info, right?
Correct.
And
yes.
We look forward to having you again as a three-peater at some point
right
in the
before
future.
Zane, right? Before Zane.
Right before Zane, yeah, right before.
Right.
Thomas,
you can even have me for like a minute and then get Zane. Just,
on the same one. That's a good idea. First 3 times.
Zane, you want to come? Oh, Dan, we need to get Dekel first. Dekel, just say hi and leave. I'm fine with that.
I like that play.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, that's all we have for you. Do you have anything for us before you part ways and go about your day of relaxation?
I think that's it. Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys. And well, Thomas, you're so close here, but I never see you. When are we playing?
I don't have a car.
Don't have a car.
Yeah, and
but couldn't you get like your mom to drive you or something?
Yeah, no, because I'm in Texas and I'm up in Michigan.
Okay.
But last time I tried to Uber out there, it was like $70, and I was horrified. Did everything I could to get a ride home. Didn't happen. So
wow.
Yeah.
All right. So when you get a ride or a car or something, let's
maybe start a GoFundMe account for Thomas to Uber back and forth.
Yeah, that's smart. Another great idea by Tyson.
Yeah. Why do I have so many good ideas this early in the morning, 10 a.m.? Just happens. Okay, Dekel, thanks again. We'll talk to you soon. Guys. I'm going to miss you here in Arizona, but I'm sure we'll
miss you guys
pass
too.
soon.
All right. Later.
See ya.
Guys. Thank you.
I love that guy.
Yeah, he's so nice. He's so political.
He's part of the super council, dude.
So politically correct.
Man, I'm telling you, once you're part of a council, you got to be safe.
He's listening to us. I can see him. I can see you, Dekel.
Yeah, that's fun. I'm excited to have him back as our first 3-time guest. But now that we've advertised this, I imagine all of our pro guests that we've had in the past are going to be vying for that spot as the first 3-peater.
Yeah, I mean that's probably better than becoming like number 1.
Yeah. So you're now abandoning your quest to become number 1 on Duper?
No, because I'm a host. So I'm gonna do.
You've
both.
already been on 3 times.
That's correct.
Okay. What do we have in the news? I actually shared the newsletter advertisement on my own Instagram.
Did you? I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I've shared it to my stories, dude. And so let's see. So we got all the headlights here. NPR and Fox Biz talk pickleball. We're just sort of, but we're seeing this everywhere. Everything is popping up pickleball. We're seeing it in media. We're seeing it in Hollywood. It's nonstop because it's the hot thing right now. It's like what golf was 20 years ago, where it was like, once you like have no interest in doing the hobbies you were doing, this is the new focus and you fall in love with it. And I think golf is still that for many people, but golf was the only that for a long time. Cycling was that for people for a couple years until they realized like it takes a lot of time and effort and could be dangerous. And pickleball is that thing. So I think it's just going to continue. We're going to keep seeing that more and more and more in popular and public news.
Yeah. Yeah. Another similarity between golf and pickleball is like, even though, you're sort of, you've aged, you've exited your prime, right? You still kind of have that. I think I could still go pro in this sport.
Yeah. Yes. Itch to compete. And the age isn't the barrier, necessarily.
Not everybody will admit it, but everybody has those thoughts, right?
Everybody does. And it's usually within like the first 2 weeks of playing. Yeah. It's the first 2 weeks of playing for your first time. And you're like Will Lowry last week.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, he's the epitome. That's on steroids. He just needs to play like one decent match and that'll come crater.
Oh, I loved that. Because he was like echoing my sentiment, but like times 100.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas like there was a part of me that knew I couldn't, but I still was like, maybe I could.
Yeah. No, he's super unrealistic, but yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
But let's see. All right. So are you going to go over to,
I'm going over today. I'm going to go visit the FILA booth. FILA, one of my partners, my clothing and shoe partner in pickleball, has a huge booth set up, selling a lot of gear. If you want those sick court shoes, etc. Anyways, they're doing a little like meet and greet and intro to pickleball. So I'm going over there. I think Hannah Johns is going to be there as well because she also reps FILA. And so once we stop recording here, I'm going to take a little break and then I'm driving down there. It's 20 minutes. So yeah.
Hannah has a FILA deal. That's pretty interesting.
She's in FILA a lot, but I don't know like exactly what.
Yeah.
And FILA's pretty sick. And I just got some of their newest court shoes because they keep coming out with new cool colors and I can't get enough of them. I actually wear them around town like casually. So
I've got a FILA dink bag that I rock.
Yeah.
Small bag.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, is one of the $50,000 worth of items that are still in transit.
Still?
Supposedly.
How many weeks has it been now? Or can you count it in months now?
We're going on, almost 50 days here.
Oh, dude. In 2 weeks, it'll be over 2 months. And when did they say it was going to be delivered?
Like 3 days after we shipped it.
And do they know where it is?
They claim to, but at this point, I don't believe anything that they say.
So what is going to happen? Are you going to have to make a claim with your homeowner's insurance? What's going on?
We've got.
How do you remedy this?
Involved.
Okay.
We've got some attorneys involved. Going to shake them down, see what information we can get to. We can scare them into getting their stuff here.
Did you initially call them and be like, "My dad's a lawyer"?
Yeah,
that was your first phone call on day 4.
Yeah, my dad is not a lawyer. He does have a law degree though, so
So you did.
That'll scare him.
Yeah.
Can't wait to bring that up.
My dad's a lawyer.
My dad is an attorney.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I feel sad for you because I know that is really hard to not have all your stuff with you. And I'm not being sarcastic or anything, even though maybe it does kind of sound that way. The tone of my voice, like, totally. I sympathize with you.
Yeah. It's not cool. But we'll hopefully figure it out here.
Yeah. So should we start a GoFundMe campaign to replace all your stuff or to the legal fees?
How about a GoFundMe? I just pick any GoFundMe.
Whatever you think is going to be most helpful to you.
GoFundMe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd like my stuff back. We'll go with that for now.
Yeah.
All right. Check this out. So Duper released this data, and basically what the data says, Tyson, is in every respective bracket.
Yes.
What rating it would take to actually win that bracket on average, right? So if you're a 3.5 on average in the 3.5 PPA, what is the rating of the winner of that event, right? So
6.2.
No, not quite. But basically what this, not just a little bit off there.
Okay.
Basically what this data says is you kind of have to sandbag, but you don't over sandbag. You'll be like sandbaggy, but not too sandbaggy.
Yeah, just sandbaggy enough that that you feel dirty, but not that you are in a downward emotional spiral.
Right. So let's see. I give you an example. So in men's like 60 plus 3.5, the highest rated team, like the one that's going to win, is typically a 4.0.
Okay. That's full on sandbag, because if you're a 4.0, you should be signing up for 4.0.
But then you just lose, right? So
correct. So what's the 4.0?
There's 3 decimal points to this too, right? So I was rounding a little bit. So basically it's like you shouldn't be above a half point over the rating you're entering into.
Okay.
But you should be like just under it. Right.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what you should be thinking about if you want to go to a tournament and win. That's basically what this data is telling you. If you want to be on the safe side, you want to walk away with the dub, probably want to look at something where you're like, just a half point over whatever you're entering into.
Okay. I've actually been told that by pros that if you're playing amateur, play a half point down from what you think you should be playing.
Yeah. Again, though, I would say, and I always say this, it depends on region, right? Like when I went and played in Palm Springs, I was like, dang. When I played in Michigan, I was like, I'm a pro,
Okay, here I've got an idea for Duper. Dude, I'm so full of ideas today.
Yeah.
Duper should throw like a universal round robin with all their pros included, a bunch of people, make it a full week of pickleball play, playing round robins with everybody. And at the end of the week, everybody will have like a pretty accurate rating, right? You just mix every single skill level into the round robin.
Don't hate it.
And just be like, it's the mega round robin sponsored by Duper. Here we go. And there's 1,000 people in the round robin. They're like, it's going to take 7 days of pickleball play. And you're like, okay, let's do it.
What about a tournament that goes, it lasts the entirety of the year? And
like 365 days.
This is actually really interesting. Okay. I'm thinking about this out loud, and we could do this. We can make some money. At the beginning of the year, you pay your entry fee.
It's not about making money. It's about the love of the sport.
No, this is about making money, Tyson.
Okay.
We're going to make a lot of it with this one.
Okay. I'm in 50-50 owner of this. Let's hear what it is.
So let's just say we get 1,000 entrants, right? It's up to these players to find a mutually agreed upon place and time to play their match. They report the results. They all have to certify the results, and then you advance. And throughout the year, you're just working your way up through the bracket. End of the year, we have a final in some location that, is that we decide, but it's like a year long, just like slow churn, work your way up and try.
It's pickleball Strava.
Yeah, I'm on Strava. Are you on Strava?
Of course, but I don't ever advertise what I'm doing on there.
Yeah, no free ads. You mean
no? I don't. I don't use Strava, but I am on there.
Ah, well, that's not fun. I kind of want to see what kind of numbers you're putting up on Strava.
I don't do almost anything, but I used to. So So anyways, it's like, so you sign up for this thing, then you meet up with the people. It tells you the time and place, and like you agree upon, like all 4 people have to like give the thumbs up for like that meeting time and place. You play your matches in the round robin, and then you advance in your area locally until you get to like the pinnacle of your area locally. And once they have enough data to properly rank you, you get your rating. And you sign up at the beginning, you may only have to play for 2 months, not the full year, right? Or are you round robining no matter how your results are going for the entire year?
There's no round robin. You play a team once, and you're either out of the tournament or you work your way up.
Oh, but then you couldn't accurately get someone's rating from that.
Yeah, it's not about, this one was just about making money, not about accurate ratings.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So, well, I know some people at Pickle Play who could probably make something like that happen.
I also know some people over there.
Okay.
Let's do this. So we've got the PPA Foot Solutions Arizona Grand Slam near you.
Yep. Going there today.
I'm going to give my picks. I'm going to give a rundown of picks. Okay. I'm going to streak through them, and then you let me know what you think. Okay.
Yep.
Mixed doubles. I've got an obvious one. Ben Johns, Annalie Waters. They're going to win it. They're going to get 2 in a row. Men's doubles. I'm going Matt and Riley this tournament. Last tournament, it was Ben and Colin. I'm going Matt and Riley.
They know each other better now.
Men's singles. I'm going Ben Johns. Sorry, boring pick, but that's what I'm going with. Women's singles, I'm going Leah Jansen. So she'll, I think that would technically be an upset.
It would be.
Annalie. We definitely
and
of
Parento.
Catherine.
Yep.
And then for women's doubles, I'm going Catherine Parento and Jessie Irvin. I thought they played great last tournament, last PPA, that is.
Yep.
And Callie and Lucy ended up pulling it out. But I've got Catherine and Jessie for this one. What do you think?
I like all those picks. I mean, they're all safe picks for the most part.
Pretty safe.
Lee Jansen is your
Leah
Jansen.
You always say Lee. I think it
Leah. Is it Leah or Leia?
Leia.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. Leia. Okay. Princess Leia. Got it.
Yes.
Bam. In my memory. I don't think I've ever seen her play, honestly, other than like highlight clips and stuff. I've never seen her play in person. So I don't know very much about her. I mean, you haven't chosen any like 1,000-to-1 dark horse victories like I chose the first time we did this.
Mm-hmm.
And so I haven't seen the entire list of players, but I guess I have the PPA pool to draw from, right?
Yeah.
I mean, your mixed doubles, you're probably accurate there. Men's doubles, yeah, I mean, it will be a battle, but probably a safe pick other than, the Johns brothers, right? And yeah, they're all, you've chosen at least gold medal match participants in
I went right down the middle. The only like questionable ones are where
where there's so much competition.
It's obvious. It's nothing interesting here, but there are some interesting pairings and
let's hear them.
Players. So I like that Tyson McGuffin and
my dad. And I was named after him.
Your dad. Mm-hmm. And Lauren Stratman are playing together, which I think is an interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. Yeah. Have we seen that before ever?
I don't think so. So that'll be an interesting one. Leia is playing with Colin Johns. Mm-hmm. So that'll be I think they've played together before.
Okay.
They don't play together too often. I like John Sincola and Thomas Wilson.
Okay.
So Sincola kind of known for that big APP win.
Yeah, coming off a heater.
Jay and JW and Zane to win that one. And so he'll be playing singles too. So that'll be a good one to watch just to see how he does.
Which John Sincola also famously was the victim of a golden pickle from Zane. Mm-hmm. Like a year and a half ago, somewhere in that time. So to then see him take that gold at one of the APPs recently, I think was pretty cool.
Yeah. You talked about Jeff Warnick earlier. He's playing with Althoff, and the only reason I'm noting that one is because they're going to be super obnoxious, and I hope they're on center court so we can just like hear them scream and be annoying.
Okay, very cool. Does that mean Zane is not present? Because he's generally partnered with Althoff.
Yeah, he's not there.
Okay.
And then Jill Braverman coming out of retirement. She always says, I'm retired. You never really retire because you can come back and pickleball and just hop on the court, which is what she's going to do.
Yeah.
Playing with Leia Jansen. So that'll be a good one. She's not playing singles though. She's a good singles player. I would have liked to have seen her play singles.
Okay.
And then the last one, I think, is a dark horse in women's doubles is Lauren Stratman and Andrea Coop. I like that team.
Okay. Yeah. Powerful team.
But women's doubles is stacked. I think like of all the events between Catherine and Jessie, the Waters, Lucy and Callie, and now Stratman and Coop, it's going
to be the least predictable. Yeah. Anybody could take it at any time, depending on how they're feeling personally and as a team. Mm-hmm. So, which is what we like. And that's where pickleball is honestly getting. We're not seeing outright favorites winning every time already. They're still winning a majority of the time, but I think even that is going to change as the talent pool gets deeper and deeper.
You thirsty?
No, because I have a perfect hydration blend from Relight. I actually have it. That's what I've been drinking this morning, and replaces all of the electrolytes you sweat out in an hour, 10 times more electrolytes than the other leading brands of electrolyte mixes. And it's all natural, all clean, minimal ingredients. And the flavor is amazing.
I didn't know if you were going to get that tea up.
Yeah. Why wouldn't I? I was like, why would I be thirsty? I've been drinking Relight the whole time.
Yeah. Hey, good for you. 2 episodes in a row. You haven't taken a break to pee.
I know. I peed right before. Usually if we do the later one, then I don't have to pee. If we do the earlier one, my morning routine, I drink 2 like big glasses of water to start the day before I drink my first coffee. So that is why I usually, I'm about to explode. But here at the later, when we do the 10 a.m. to 11, I'm fine.
I've got a few more things we should cover before we go.
Wow. This is extra content for all you PicklePod enthusiasts out there going into overtime. Here we go.
So this is you, dude. This is your idea, and I liked it. Okay. I don't know if somebody fed it to you. I have faith you came up with it. You're a creative guy, but new name for the podcast.
I came up with it.
The no drill zone.
Yeah.
I like
no
that.
Drill zone. Okay. Are we changing the name of the pod?
We could. Do you want to? I don't.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I think Pickleball was funny. It was funny.
You said you wanted something that like was more professional and all this stuff. So I came up with all these names. You're like, I don't like that. And then I said PicklePod, and you were like, yeah, that's the one, PicklePod. I was like, Thomas, you're the businessman. You come from a businessy background. You're in business school. How could you obviously have more knowledge on this than I do. I do like No Drill Zone as a pod. I haven't searched for any other podcasts named something similar. One of the things we're having with PicklePod is that there is a podcast called The PicklePod with a "the" on the front of it, which goes over pickles, not pickleball. And so that is a little bit of a thing there. Otherwise, I think it's the men that make it rather than the name that is going to lure people in anyways.
Yeah. If you have listened this far into the episode, 1, dope. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
2, let us know what you think about that one. And, shoot me a DM.
Yeah.
Comment on YouTube.
We could put
other like good names.
We could put a poll on there, but No Drill Zone is good because, you and I famously, one of our beliefs around the game of pickleball is that drilling, though it may be important, has no place in our routine.
No.
We are playing games. If you see us on the court and ask us to drill, we will decline, but we'll accept gameplay.
0 to 100, drill to play.
Correct. Correct. And that's the way it's always been. It's the way it's always going to be. And if there's not enough people to play a game, we're going to figure out a way to do it anyways.
Yeah. It's very much to the detriment of my my pro career, which at one point I thought maybe could be something.
Yeah.
But 100%. I'm past that point. I don't have time. I've got class. Okay. I've got class. I've got to run a business. Can't listen.
Yeah. Drilling's fine.
I can't even find time to play.
Yeah. Drilling's fine if you want to get better at the game, but if you want to go out and have fun and get your steps in and stuff, no drilling is the way to go.
I like it. Subscribe on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on Spotify.
Love that as well.
Hit the like, hit the little bell, do all that stuff. That really, really helps us.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
We're turning out this free content for you. The least you could do.
Free, 5 minutes of content here. Dang.
Yeah.
And then you get 10% off any pickleball equipment from with Pickleball. It's 10 dink, all caps, 10%, any pickleball equipment. Some exclusions, but yeah, if you want to buy a new panel or anything like that.
Yeah. And Relight, you can use Pickleball at checkout to get 15% off everything, no exclusions.
Cool.
So,
all right.
That's it.
No drilling. Nah, that doesn't sound good. What would be like a good thing?
Every
episode, but
let's see. Oh, you still coming up with a sign off?
Yeah. Sayonara.
Pickle on.
Mm.
No.